Greetings to my friend in the Peach State, in Georgia, whether you're in Savannah or Atlanta, in Athens or any place that I am on. I'm going to be talking to you a lot for the next 2 months. Good morning. As of this morning, everything hangs on Georgia. The Constitution hangs on Georgia. The Republic hangs on Georgia. We have to have Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler reelected. President-elect Joe Biden, Vice President-elect Harris have got a plan for America that we cannot allow to happen. I believe that President Trump should go forward and finish all the counting and the recounting, litigate wherever there is fraud, and continue the battle. And that's a battle in courthouses, but the battle in politics in which you, the audience, can be involved is in Georgia. And if you're following me on Twitter or Parler, and I believe everyone ought to be migrating to Parler, Parler, and setting up your account there, and millions are. If you love the Constitution, you have to get behind Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler's reelection. And you have to approach it the way Bill Belichick approached the loss he had to Kansas City some years ago. And he faced a crowd, and they all wanted to talk about the loss he had suffered. And Bill Belichick kept answering, "We're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati." We'll find that tape and play it to you. And we're on to Georgia on this show. I'll keep my eye on all of the arguments. I'll keep my eye on all of the lawsuits. I will let you know, but as you know, we're 17,000 votes behind in Arizona, 10,000 votes behind in Georgia, 45,000 votes behind in Pennsylvania. I know every allegation. I'm following every lawsuit. I'm in touch with the campaign. I know exactly who is in charge of which state. I know all the arguments. I am against trying to convene state legislatures to overturn the Electoral College. That is as radical as packing the Supreme Court, and it would destroy the rule of law. You got to win on the ground, and maybe they can. There's probably a 2% chance of turning this around. I do believe we ought to call Joe Biden the president-elect because he is the president-elect, and Senator Harris, Vice President-elect Harris, because she is the Vice President-elect. That is not the final determination. There is no formal determination until the Electoral College meets. And lightning could strike from the sky. It's going to be likely, if it's ever out there, it will be a clerical or software error, and I've seen no evidence of any of that. You cannot win even with the showing of 5,000 illegal votes in any of these states. You can show me 5,000 illegal votes in Georgia. I don't know if you can get it reversed on that basis. But then I've said many times on television in the last 5 days, he needs to win in 3 places out of 4 contested states. Those are Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. But first he needs to win 1. All right, President Trump needs to win 1 first before he can win 2, before he can win 3. And the reality is those are very, very long odds. You got to come back in the final minute of an NFL game and march 99 yards, not once, not twice, but 3 out of 4 games. You got to pull off the drive to make it real to Cleveland people 3 out of 4 times. And I'm not counting on that. I'm counting on Georgians. And I want to hear from Georgians this morning, 1-800-520-1234. If you're driving to work in Atlanta, in Savannah, in Athens, wherever you are in Georgia, one of the smaller towns or cities of Georgia, or way out in rural Georgia, you have to be registered by December 7th in order to vote on January 5th. And you will hear me tell you that to the point of distraction. And I want all of you to go out there and think of everybody you know in Georgia. I'm thinking about my buddy Glenn and Susan. I'm sure they voted already. They can't register their grandson James. That's not legit. But they can get everybody else registered that they know. And they can make sure everyone knows on January 5th to vote. But first you got to register. And believe me, right now, they need money, lawyers, volunteers. And I have tweeted out Perdue and Loeffler, the senators Perdue and Loeffler are running a joint campaign. And their joint campaign has tweeted out a donations page, which I have put up. and they have tweeted out a volunteer page. And some of you who've got too much energy and not enough things to do, pour it into the Georgia Senate race. As Margaret Thatcher said, win the argument, then win the vote. Let me tell you what depends upon those Georgia Senate races. If both of them are won, the Supreme Court will not be packed. If both of them are won, the United States military will not be defunded. If both of them are won, the radicals that Vice President-elect Biden, should he become President-elect Biden, wants to appoint in any agency or onto the bench will not get confirmed. If Perdue and Loeffler win, there will not be socialized medicine. If Perdue and Loeffler win, there will not be a Green New Deal. If Perdue and Loeffler win, there will not be an absurd bailout of the deep blue states. That's if Perdue and Loeffler win, and 100 other things if Perdue and Loeffler win. Lynn in Atlanta, Georgia. Good morning, Lynn. Which part of Atlanta do you live in?
Pardon me?
Which part of Atlanta do you live in?
I live in Northwest. I've lived here for 51 years, and I've voted. Every time I vote, there is never a person of non-color at the polling agency. And my husband's in the investment business, and he has clients all over the United States. And he has a lot of clients who didn't like Trump but liked his policies but wouldn't vote for him, thinking everybody in the South is going to go for Trump, and they're going to win. The senators are going to win here. And it's just not true. There is a Democrat machine here that nobody realizes. We're not gone with the wind here. We're not like South Carolina, Alabama, and Louisiana. We're different. Okay, they're so. Stacey Abrams got 800,000 people to register in the state. 800,000.
And so, Lynn, my question is, what are you going to do between now and January? It's fine if people of color are running the polls. It's fine if Stacey Abrams got people legitimately registered. The Republicans have to register their own people, and they have to turn out, and they have to have observers at every polling station. They got to be all over Fulton County, and they've got the governor and the Secretary of State. I think your AG is a Republican as well, correct?
Yes.
And the state legislature is Republican, correct?
Yes.
So it can meet in special session and pass special protections, but the registration deadline is December the 7th. Are you going to get people registered? Are you going to work on it, Lynn?
Yes, absolutely. And I just feel like there's so many people that don't realize how serious this is. And my husband talks to Kelly and David all the time, and they really are worried about winning.
Of course they are. Yep.
They think people don't understand Georgia.
Georgia is a very dynamically changing state, and if the Republicans turn out, those senators will win. If they get mad and stay home because President Trump appears to have lost, or if they get mad and stay home because the media was unfair, if they get mad and stay home because the polling was wrong, they will not win. So they have to get energized, right? And Lynn, so tell me about your friends and family. Are they energized?
Yes, and by the way, Hugh, I don't know one suburban woman who voted for Biden.
Well, you got to make sure that those same suburban women get out and vote for Perdue and Loeffler. And I mean, every day, your Bible study, your church, your whatever social group you're involved in, and we've got COVID, but you've got to get volunteered. And are you going to volunteer, Lynn?
Yes.
All right. You're my best first caller.